I'm Dan Shapiro, Stuyvesant class of 2019, and I'm assisting with research at Cornell Weill regarding the effects of opioids on the female brain based on its physical structure. The physical attributes of the female brain might make them more susceptible to addiction and relapse when it comes to opioids and the effect of the opioids on the female brain in comparison to the male brain. And as it turns out, if you ask some recovering addicts like my friend Robin here, if you look at the real world with human addicts, there seems to be some proof of this already in rehab centers.
It did seem like men were didn't have the same amount of problems getting off the drugs that I did. It seemed like, I had to do when I was doing cleaning up and getting it out of my system, it seemed that it left their system a whole lot faster. It seemed like their whole process of getting off and getting better it just seemed to be faster. I mean, you saw them leaving the hospital faster than you seemed to see the women leaving the hospital. Like, why is it worse for me than the guys? I just didn't understand that. They were doing the same kind of drugs they were. We'd sat in the therapy in a circle, and their problems were no different or better than mine, and yet they seemed to leave the program before the women did, and I just didn't understand.
So, how did you start using these medications?
Well, I was in a car accident, and I hurt my back. We did a couple operations, and none of them worked, and so finally my doctor gave me a pill for the pain, and it was oxycodone. And I used the oxycodone for close to a year, and things were a lot better, and then the doctor just cut me off. It was devastating because the pain went right back. Pain pills are Band-Aids. They're not really a cure for anything. So after a while, the Band-Aid fell off, and I had to find a different one. So then I had to start looking for new ways to take away the pain.
So, what ways did you find after that?
I found Vicodin and Percocet together did pretty well. But after a while, all of them, it's the same thing, They work for a while, and then your body gets used to them. And then I eventually tried heroin for a while. I fell out of wanting to be something. I think it took away some of my ambitiousness or my ambition, because really my main ambition at that time was to stay high so I wasn't in pain. So, it didn't matter if I was in school or not. That was no longer my function in life. My function in life, to me, was to stay high. And then there's always the possibility that if I stayed high, and then I'd fail at it. And I don't want to take a chance of failing at it, so it was easier just not to try.
At what point in this whole process did this start to really have a lasting impact in your life?
Well, I dropped out of school, and I think what made me really decide that it was time to stop was just looking at my arms and having all those holes in my arms, and it just freaked me out. I never thought of myself as a junkie, but when I looked at them, I just freaked out and decided I needed to get my life back. This wasn't the person I'd ever planned on being. And whether the holes in my arms is what kind of gave me the jolt. And I talked to my family, and they put me into a rehab center. It was excruciating to begin with. Coming off the drugs, I got the shivers, I was throwing up a lot. All my body wanted was the pills I'd been on before, because that's how I felt normal. And there was a lot of therapy, group therapy, and people talked about their addictions and what got them there and why they weren't doing them anymore. And it kind of took some of the pressure off me that, it blamed me for everything. This is all my fault. Yes, I had a car accident. Yes, I had a whole lot of pain, but had I not been stronger, this never would have happened. But when you're sitting in a group of people that have all had similar situations, you lighten up on yourself a little, which is nice, and you start realizing, it's not just me.
So when you were in rehab, did you notice by chance that the men around you had an easier time getting off the medication and had a less of a chance of relapsing? Like, did you notice that the men had higher success rates?
As we all got better and we started doing the group therapies, there's different ways they do this, and you can do cold turkey, or they'll just take a little bit, a little bit less, and a little bit less, so your body's not as, And then I started noticing that people that I'd been at the same level with, the guys were gone, and I was still there, and I just wondered, is it easier for men to get off the addiction than women? But there were more women there, and I think we all kind of noticed it, And you'd ask the doctor, where did they go? And, oh, they went home already. And, I just had to wonder, why?
Based on that, this project might get very far, and it might make some important discovery that could help us combat the effect of the addiction on female brains.